Hello and welcome to exercise 14, keyframes. Okay, so just to tidy up a small bit before we continue on, I want to press the full stop and just switch this back to median point. Okay, and I'm going to press tab and come back to object mode. And with this plane still selected, I'm going to press S to scale, Y for the y-axis, and just type 10 and enter. Okay, now we want to put some animation on the car, so what I'm going to do is left selected and I'm going to roll the mouse wheel just to zoom out and press and hold shift and the middle mouse button just to pan over. I'm just going to grab the manipulator by the y-axis and just drag it back to the beginning here. Okay, and next I want to select the camera, so I'm just going to zoom back in here and just left click the camera. Okay, and I'm going to press N to bring up the properties shelf and just scroll back up to the top here. And on the rotation on the X, I just want to type in 90 here. Okay, and just have that sitting at a 90 degrees. Okay. Now what I want to do is make two windows, so I'm just going to press N just to hide this, and I'm going to hover the mouse until I get this small cross icon, press and hold the left mouse button and just drag this out. And what I can do is just press T to hide that and press T over here just to make a little bit more space. And in the left hand window, I'm just going to press 0. Okay, and that will bring me into camera view. And in the right hand view, I'm just going to grab the camera again in the y-axis and just drag it up towards the car. And what I want to do is frame up this car now a little bit better. So if I just press N over here and lock camera to view, I can just press and hold the middle mouse button and just pan this around a little bit and just get it into a position that I'm happy with. I just want the car in view, that's all. Okay, somewhere about there, and I can just uncheck this box. Okay, now next what I want to do is select the car, and I'm actually going to do this over here in the 3D view. I can just actually press N to hide that, more space. What I want to do is insert a keyframe for the car's position at this moment in time, which is 1. Current frame is 1 on the timeline. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to select the car and press I, and this brings me up the insert keyframe menu, and I'm just going to use location for the car because it's only going to travel from A to B. Okay, so I'm going to left click, and you can see if I just drag this, you can press and hold the right mouse button and just drag this timeline anywhere along. You can see that this little yellow line indicates that a timeline has been placed at this position. Okay, so I'm just going to snap it back to the beginning. So just hit the back key on the timeline. Okay, so next I want to come to the current keyframe and type in 250. I press enter. Okay, and what I want to do is drag the car to the end of the road. So I'm just going to roll the mouse wheel to zoom out. I'm going to grab the manipulator drag the car to close to the end. Okay, and with the current frame on 250, I'm going to press I, and again I'm just going to choose location. Okay, and now if we press and hold the right mouse button and just drag this back, you can see the car is traveling between the 2 points. So if we just press play, you can see the car starts to move. Okay, I'm just going to press pause and bring this back. Okay, now next I want to insert a keyframe for the camera. Okay, so I need to select the camera, so I'm just going to roll the mouse wheel just to zoom in. You can also select the camera up here in the outliner, whichever is handiest, or you can, I'm just going to press A just to demonstrate. I'm just going to left click, choose the camera here. Okay, you can select the outline of the camera. Okay, so with the timeline currently on 1 and the camera in its start position, I'm going to press I and choose location rotation. Okay, because I'm going to rotate this camera, so we need a location rotation. Okay, and I need to add a marker for this camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is press M. Sorry, in the timeline I'm going to press M and just add a marker in here. And now we want to bind the camera to this. So with the camera selected, I'm going to press Control B. Okay, and that binds the camera to that marker. Okay. Now if I move to 48 in the timeline, press enter. I need to rotate this camera just to keep the car in view, so I'm just going to press R and Z to restrict it to the Z axis and just rotate. Okay, and left click, and I might just drag this back to frame up the car a little bit better, so drag it in the X and Y. Okay, and with that done, I'm going to press I and insert a second location rotation for this position. Okay. Okay, next I want to press Shift S to bring up the snap menu. So Shift S, cursor to center, and I want to add a second camera. So Shift A, select camera. Okay, and that snaps a camera into the 3D cursor. And I'm going to press N to bring up the property panel. And I'm just going to come up to the transform options here, and under rotation, I'm going to type in 90 and 0 for the Y and Z rotation. Okay. Now, next we want to add a tracking constraint to the camera. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just press N just to hide that. I'm going to come over here to the Constraints tab and left click to add object constraint, and I'm going to choose damped track. Okay, and in the target I'm going to left click this cube and choose cube, which is the car. Okay, and for the, if I just scroll the mouse wheel or roll the mouse wheel just to zoom in, I'm going to set this to negative Z, and you can see the camera now is pointing in the direction of the car. Okay, so what I want to do is drag the camera forward in the X-axis. Okay, so I'm just going to drag it over here away from the road, and I'm also going to drag it up. So I'm just going to press 3 for side view and just drag this up. Okay. So we could get a good shot of it. Now let's need to add a marker for this camera on the timeline. So I'm going to set, so it's set to 48, and what I'm going to do is come down here into the timeline and press M. Okay, and that adds a marker. And now I need to press Control B to bind that camera to that marker. Okay. Now if we just come back here, left click and type in 1, you can see we snap back to our first camera. Okay, if we press play and we watch the car take away, it switches from the first camera to the second camera. Okay, and the second camera picks it up and follows it. It's going to press pause. I'm just going to grab this camera and drag it back down a little bit, straighten it up, or straighten up the view. Okay. And if I just snap back to the beginning, I'm just going to right click. If you wish, you can manipulate the camera a little bit better to hold the car in view. So what I mean is select the camera and add some keyframes at different points. So if you drag the camera out and then just type I and put a location rotation, okay, and just frame it up a little bit better. And the same for, you drag it up to 30 and you drag the car or the camera out, maybe rotate it on the Z, left click and type I and location rotation. Okay, do the same on 40, so maybe just R, Z and type I, location rotation. You get a little bit of a better flow as the car stays in view. Okay, I'm just going to snap back to the beginning, and that's going to do it for this exercise. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.